We would also like to recognize the strong support of all group commanders, squadron commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, supervisors, co-workers, and family members in attendance today. Chief Swistack, would you please come forward to offer the opening remarks?
Thank you. All right, just a few opening remarks if you'll give me your attention. First, thank you to the team 5-6 putting this together. It is what we need to do is to recognize these folks for this awesome accomplishment. Of course, the club staff, in my opinion, always world class and making it happen. And PA back there getting us the live stream and so our folks in the back there can share with their families this accomplishment. So in my short time as interim command chief, I've got a lot across the wing and seen a lot of amazing things. And every day I'm surprised or amazed by something we're doing or the effects we're having. So I was thinking about it, and I think this is kind of like one of the last things I'm going to do as interim command chief, sir. So I was thinking about what it means to be here. So we are on, if you didn't realize it, or if you haven't read the history, we are on hallowed ground here at Takata 2, the center of the aerospace testing universe. We've been breaking barriers for 75 plus years. We continue to break barriers today to keep our warfighters equipped with what they need. Because of what we do here, we have maintained air dominance for over 70 years. We own the sky. We have denied hostile aircraft from having effective strikes on ground formations for over 70 years by what you do in the crowd. We compete. Our adversaries are working tirelessly to try to match us and exceed what we can do. We, the big airmen the big A airmen, no matter what uniform you wear or how you contribute to this mission, we stand in the gap. We make sure that our adversaries do not want to try to go kinetic with us because they will lose. Nothing happens in that without the contributions of a strong, empowered, and diverse enlisted force. We can have all the cool iron in the world, all the awesome capabilities in tech. It's irrelevant without our people. Humans are more important than hardware. Our people, everyone in this room and everybody who works on this installation are, in our Air Force and Space Force, are our competitive advantage. Critical to that, the backbone of the Air Force and Space Force is the NCO tier. Top of that tier is our tech sergeants. It's statistically one of the hardest ranks to make. Look it up if you don't believe me. It's in the name. Tech sergeants take on highly complex technical capabilities and most often are the subject matter experts out in the field. They start to become supervisors of supervisors, growing and developing those NCOs into future tech sergeants themselves and leaders in our Air Force. They make sure they have the tools, training, and support to maximize performance for mission performance. But because they can't hear all this, I just wanted to tell you all why this is such a big deal today. And I want to end with thank you. Thank you to the families who we drag through this, who don't necessarily get a vote on where we go. The kiddos who are born into this life and had no choice. The friends, the coworkers, the families, the commanders, the chiefs, everybody who got our folks to this point. Defending freedom is a team endeavor, and I guarantee you ask any of those selects out there, they could have never got there without you. So give yourself a round of applause. All right, with that, let's get this party started, and don't forget, test is the way.
Thanks, Chief. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Chief Swistack. I would ask you all to form two lines, but you've already done that. So we will start calling out our selectees now. First up, selected for the rank of Technical Sergeant from the 412th Aircraft Maintenance Squadron with a line number of 2421, Technical Sergeant Select DeMonte Cottrell. Selected for the rank of Technical Sergeant from the 412th Aircraft Maintenance Squadron with a line number of 3562, Technical Sergeant Select Eric Radvila. Selected for the rank of Technical Sergeant from the 412th Aircraft Maintenance Squadron with a line number of 892, Technical Sergeant Select Edward Santana Acosta. Selected for the rank of Technical Sergeant from the 412th Aircraft Maintenance Squadron with a line number of 1797, David Talley. Selected for the rank of Technical Sergeant from the 412th Maintenance Logistics Test Squadron with a line number of 4425, Technical Sergeant Select Jacob Hiroshi. Selected for the rank of Technical Sergeant from the 412th Logistics Test Squadron with a line number of 6-8, Technical Sergeant Select Christopher Mendoza. Selected for the rank of Technical Sergeant from the 412th Logistics Test Squadron with a line number of 3887, Technical Sergeant Select Adolfo Reynoso. Selected for the rank of Technical Sergeant from the 412th Maintenance Squadron with a line number of 2187, Technical Sergeant Select Ethan Sloan. Selected for the rank of Technical Sergeant from the 412th Security Forces Squadron with a line number of 1185, Technical Sergeant Select Isela Guzman. Selected for the rank of Technical Sergeant from the 412th Security Forces Squadron with a line number of 1515, Technical Sergeant Select Marcita Wright. Selected for the rank of Technical Sergeant from the 412th Force Support Squadron with a line number of 4362, Brenna Bellamy. Selected for the rank of Technical Sergeant from the 417th Test Evaluation Squadron with a line number of 3173, Technical Sergeant Select Trenton Fernandez. Selected for the rank of Technical Sergeant from the 912th Aircraft Maintenance Squadron with a line number of 291, Technical Sergeant Select Adayinka Adenakinju. 12th Aircraft Maintenance Squadron with a line number of 2002, Technical Sergeant Select Caleb Hopper. And last but not least, selected for the rank of Technical Sergeant from the Air Force Research Laboratory with a line number of 1736, Technical Sergeant Select Christopher Knowles. Thank you, Brigadier General Heiger, Chief Swystack, and senior leadership. We now open the floor to you, General Heiger, for a few final encouraging words.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for being here. And for those of you that are joining us virtually or maybe watching this that's already been recorded, thanks for participating. It means a lot that literally we are all here for these amazing NCOs. They eventually, watch this, eventually they're going to learn you have enough rank, you don't have to continue to stand in line. Right? So you'll have to start, feeling that out, gaining your independence. I'm impressed every time I'm around a release party like this, but especially this one. It's remotivating and inspiring for me. I could not be more proud to have shared this stage with you, but make no bone about it, folks, and I think you'll agree with me. This is their event, and this is for them, right? Right? And I don't know if you noticed it in the crowd, but that team right there, because life is a team sport, right? Team of NCOs, team of tech sergeants. That team figured out about a third of the way into it that, hey, it's okay if we take a little bit more time up here. So if you were in the first few and you want more time on stage with music blaring, your family and friends and coworkers, you can come on up when we're done. It's all yours. Okay? You good? You good, guys? You don't have to decide now. You can do it later. All right. So Chief took all my talking points. So have a nice weekend. Let's give Chief Jeremy Swistack a hand, right? Hey, the job's going to be gapped. I need you to step up into the breach. That's awesome, sir. Who's going to do my group job? You. Right? So he's been dual-hatted since June 2nd when we lost our last command chief. The next command chief is here. This is not his last gig as a command chief. I'm really confident of that. It may be at another base. I don't know exactly when or where yet, but I think this guy's got a star in the middle of those stripes in the future, and it's been a pleasure working with you and watching you perform. And he's not done when the ceremony ends because some of you are going to go continue with him online in the broadcast to talk about things. We're going to talk about 5-6. We're going to get a few of the selectees to tell us a little bit about your airman story. Maybe we'll convince a few family members to go in there and embarrass them I think there's a lot of opportunity in the room. So think about what you can do on live, and it's streamed forever. And don't worry, it will never show up at a future wedding or retirement or anything else like that. So that's good. And thanks for picking that up, Chief. Not just the interim gig, but today as well. Let me talk to you real quick about a couple other items. When I think of tech sergeants, I go back, and you probably all remember them as well. I bet for many of you, your first memory of a tech sergeant, they had a black hat on. Is that about right for many, most of you? Yeah? That was not actually my first memory of a tech sergeant. My first memory of a tech sergeant was Technical Sergeant Bruce Walls. And then shortly thereafter, Technical Sergeant Alex Lopez, who made tech. So Sergeant Walls arrived as a tech and got promoted to master, later retired from the Air Force as a chief. And Paul Lopez was a staff when I first met him, and he got promoted. And I remember those two NCOs from more than 30 years ago when I was a cadet. They were the NCOs in the ROTC detachment that I was a cadet in. In fact, I'm not going to tell you what it was, but Sergeant Lopez never let me forget that, hey, it doesn't matter how much rank you get, cadet, humility is an important thing. And he didn't say that. He had another way of saying it. So if you want to know what that is, I'll let you know what that trick is later. Okay? All right. But I learned a ton from Sergeant Lopez and Sergeant Walls. They knew that eventually or quickly that I would be their rank superior. But they also knew as an NCO, especially as that upper half of the NCO backbone of our force, that they have an obligation to train and lead and mentor CGOs as well. If that is new or surprising to you, go read the Little Brown Book again. It is very clear. It's actually written that you will lead CGOs. You're going to command a CGO? No. You're going to still call them ma'am and sir? Absolutely. And you're going to model that for the folks that get to be a little bit big for their britches that have a few less stripes than you, right? And that's an important thing that you get to demonstrate and show them that it's important to our force, it's the culture of our service, and it matters, right? And I know you all do it, and you'll do it very well. But don't forget that you're going to lead those officers as well. In the not-too-distant future, some of you are also going to get called to step up, kind of like Chief has done. Hey, our squadron has a gap. The SEL's going TDY. Maybe the job's gapped. Maybe you're a deployed location, and you're going to get a title with this stripe on as SEL. You probably will get it as an acting or an interim first, and you'll get one more stripe on. It'll be a permanent job. You should look forward to those roles. You should relish those roles and make sure that you take that role very, very seriously. Senior enlisted leader means every single word in that, and I know you're going to rock that and do that extremely well also. I will tell you, later in my career, the best advice and the best counsel that I consistently got in all of my command jobs was from my SEL. And it was from my SEL. And it was usually hey, sir, you got a minute? Absolutely, tech, master, senior, chief. They would walk in my office, click. Right? I heard somebody laugh because this is serious. Very respectful, but hey, have you considered, what are you thinking about? Would you like my opinion? All that stuff. You owe it to your commanders that you're SELs for. And sometimes your commanders don't wear a uniform like this. They wear a uniform like Margot's, right? Right? And they need your advice, and they need your SEL moments too. So remember, it isn't just your airmen anymore. It isn't just the NCOs that you are the direct supervisors of. You now have the responsibility to lead and mentor and work with CGOs, and you also have the responsibility to be a very, very candid bit of feedback and maybe the only contrarian opinion that your commanders and directors are going to hear. And that's an important and vital part that you are going to do for your unit, for our Air Force, and for our service. And if you have any doubts on how important your stripe of our modern military is to the defense of our nation, if you look at what's happening in other places and spaces around the world, and then they look and see how well they are not doing, when those militaries look at us and they say, what's the U.S. got that we don't? They got hardware, we got hardware. They got generals, we got generals. They got infantry, we got infantry. And there's all kinds of things, but the one thing that most militaries don't got, that we got in spades, is you. E5s and E6s. And when you look at the buildup of militaries that we go in and help, that is generally what they learn the most from. And that is testament to the value that you bring, not just to your unit and your flight and your squadron, but to our service and to our nation. I asked this question quite a bit, actually, and he didn't take this talking point, so I'm going to hit it. Our primary adversary is not China. Our primary adversary is the People's Republic of China, specifically the Communist Chinese Party, right? That's our primary adversary. What's their population? Nominally 1.4 billion people, right? How many billions of people in America? 0.4 billion. Think about that, right? How do 0.4 billion folks compete and continue to compete with 1.4 billion? We do so by leaning on not mass, not numbers, but leaning our competitive advantages. And I've already described, Chief already hit it a little bit. One of our competitive advantages is that we are a free and open and fair society. And we have rule of law, and we have a constitution that we hold above all else. Those are competitive advantages that the CCP doesn't have. But you know what else they don't have, another competitive advantage? They don't have people. They don't relish diversity. They don't relish diversity of thought, of ranks, of background. And they don't have an NCO Corps like you. And that's why I sleep well at night. And when I step out of the uniform, I'm going to step out knowing in full confidence it's in great hands, and those hands are yours. Welcome to this rank. I look forward to seeing you across the stage many more times. And this is all for you. Congratulations.
Thank you, General Heiger. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in a big round of applause for all of the Edwards Air Force Base's newest technical sergeants. Technical Sergeant Selects, please line up on the stage for a group photo with General Heiger and Chief Swistag.
Good afternoon, Takata 2. It is Friday. We just had an awesome event. If you were already watching, we just celebrated a bunch of new tech sergeants here at the Center of the Aerospace Testing Universe. It's a hard rank to make if you caught the comments earlier, and it's a really big deal. I know our enlisted force is the reason why we are as lethal as we are and why our adversaries fear us. I wanted to take this opportunity to bring on one of the private orgs that put these on. In this case, it's the 5-6. It's fitting, 5-6. So our E5s and E6 put on this event to welcome our tech sergeants into the tech sergeant rank and to celebrate them. And we wanted to bring one of the members on. It's the secretary for the 5-6, Technical Sergeant Perry. So just kind of wanted to hear what you think about 5-6. Why? If you're watching out there, what does a 5-6 do? And if you're an eligible 5-6 member, Staff Sergeant, Tech Sergeant, why would you want to be a part of the 5-6?
So the Edwards Air Force Base 5-6, our main priority is to mentor, grow, develop, both personally and professionally, the airmen and NCO tiers on Edwards Air Force Base. And we don't just stop there. We actually have a lot of community involvement.
Of course.
We go to the local schools for STEM events because we're all recruiters. We go to the Antelope Valley Dream Center. We send NCOs over to the FTAC NCO panel and so much more. And one of the biggest reasons to become a 5-6 member, if you aren't already one, and step into some of those subcommittee panels and lead our professional development and our membership drives, is to help our big A airmen, NCOs, officers grow now so that we can grow our leaders for tomorrow.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, a lot of folks, coming through, they're like, professional organizations or what I have to do to get promoted. But I think it's a little bit more. What is your take on it?
So I agree. We don't want people to join the 5-6 just to get promoted. When we have our members, we actually care about the people that we're mentoring and that we're teaching. And it's not just about being in the spotlight. It's helping our airmen, whether that's to make the next rank or to step into the civilian life. We provide emails out to the airmen of the Rising 4 and our NCOs for, hey, this is the checklist that you need when you're ready to separate or retire. These are the education benefits that you have as an active duty member, as a veteran, and we make sure that we provide that information to them so that they have it all in one area. They don't have to go searching for it. That's what we do. That's what our responsibility is to take care of them, not take care of just ourselves.
That's awesome. Your impact and what the group does, what the 5-6 does, it goes far beyond just what's on this base, and that's what I'm hearing, right?
Yes.
You're getting off. You're getting off the installation. You're going out and you're helping people in need with the Dream Center. You're recruiting the next us,
yes.
Right? And how important is that? We got to get these little folks, right, the little kids running around, to see us in uniform or out in the community and go, hey, you know what? I want to be that someday. And that's powerful. Not only, I think, growing up, and that's the beauty of this enlisted stripe, I think, and I'll tell anybody who will listen, you get the chief, and then that's the last of the stripes. Mm-hmm. But you know what also is included in this enlisted stripe is that stripe, and the airman stripe, all the stripes. We build upon that. We add to the stripes we have. So there was a point in time where I was in the 5-6. I was a recipient of release parties, things like that, and I got to go out and help and kind of just make a difference in the community outside the installation and most definitely inside, to raise the future, if you will, raise the future of folks. It's such a big deal. Just want to thank you for coming on and kind of sharing that a little bit. You guys put on an amazing, if you watched it earlier, if you didn't, rewind it and kind of see what that release party looked like. It was really good, and it really honored, in my opinion, very well what a tech sergeant is and why it's such a big deal to make tech sergeants. So good on you. Any parting shots for the camera? You want to shout out to anybody or anything?
Shout out to my RMO crew up at the Med Group.
Right, Med Group. That's right. Heck yeah. All right, cool.
All right, thank you, Chief. Thanks for the opportunity to let us share what the 5-6 does for our wing and our base.
It's good to have you on here, and keep doing awesome things. And if you're out there and you're eligible, or you just want to help out the 5-6, you don't necessarily have to be eligible. Mm-hmm. Reach out to them and see if there's some way you can help. All right.
All right. Thank you,
cool.
Chief.
All right. Good seeing you.
It's good to see you as well.
All right. Well, while we're switching mics, I think I'm still live. We're going to bring a couple selects on to kind of get an idea of what it means to them to make this rank. If you missed the comments earlier, I can reiterate a little bit. So our NCO tier is the backbone of the Air Force. Nothing happens on any installation without a strong backbone, without those E5, E6s. And at the top of that NCO tier is the tech sergeant. Tech sergeants often are growing into being the technical expert, the person that the commander and everybody else goes to have the answer for how to get something done. It's historically one of the harder ranks to make, just percentage-wise. And if you want to go look that up, you can find the stats. This year was about 14.5%. Don't quote me, but 50,000 eligibles, and less than 14% made that. So it's a big deal. And I have Tech Sergeant Santana Acosta. Did I say it correctly or no?
Santana Acosta.
Acosta. Okay,
Yes.
I was really close. On here, you saw him go across the stage earlier. Oh, little technical capability. It's okay. No big deal. Perfect. You went across the stage earlier.
I did. Thank you.
Did you think the celebration was worthy of the stripe?
Absolutely.
All right, cool.
It was a good time.
If I can.
Oh, please.
There we go.
I appreciate that, Chief.
It's good that people use this against you. It's recorded.
I can't wait. But no, it was a good time. It was good to see everybody else that made it as well, and to be a part of that as well, and to walk up on that stage, see everybody congratulate us as a team. And I'm excited. I'm excited for the road ahead.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. So what do you do? What do you do here?
I am a F-16 crew chief for the base.
Yeah, you got about all the crew chiefs that are watching this later and now like, yeah, crew
Absolutely.
chiefs.
Yeah, absolutely. And I work here in Edwards Air Force Base for the F-16 unit for Falcon.
Cool.
So yeah. And yeah, this is actually, believe it or not, my second jet that I've crew chiefed.
Really?
Yes, I was a C-130 crew chief.
Cool.
In 2014 and 2016.
Where was that at?
That was in Albuquerque, New Mexico, Kirtland Air Force Base.
Yeah, Kirtland. Yeah, nice. Yeah, my last base we had AC-130s and MC-130s. I was at Herbert
cool.
Field, and
That's cool.
I love me some C-130s. The capabilities of that aircraft are amazing.
Yeah, it's a great aircraft. It looks like a whale, everyone says.
It does. And, you know,
there's
there's sometimes other terms people use, the trash haulers or whatever, but the capabilities of that aircraft, that's why we have so many of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
They can get into places that other aircraft can't.
Absolutely.
And get out of places, more importantly, that aircraft can't. So that's cool. And now you graduated on, or is it a graduation or just like a shred out difference?
So there was a low manning ask from the F-16 world, and I told myself, let's go into that. Let's go see what that's like. And I did. Fortunately, I made it, and I've been to so many places. It's been amazing.
So F-16's only here at Edwards or somewhere else?
I've been F-16s. This is my fourth F-16 base. As a
cool.
matter of fact. Yeah, I've been in Shaw Air Force Base. I've been in South Korea, Osan Air Base.
Wow.
I was in Nellis Air Force Base, and now I'm here.
Wow, okay.
Nellis Air Force Base.
Cool. So the last base, you just kind of moved down this way a little bit.
Just a quick 4-hour drive.
3-4 hour drive.
No big deal. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what does it mean to you to make tech sergeant? What is a tech sergeant to you?
To me, a tech sergeant, even when I was an A1C, a two-striper, I saw them as experts.
Yes.
Absolute experts, and not even in the job, but also how to manage people, how to delegate and deliberate the work that we need to finish. So that's one thing for me, and it's kind of almost like a dream still to be in this position right now and to look ahead of what I'm looking forward to and the responsibilities that I'm going to take. Yeah. So it's gonna be a ride, and you know, no one's ever ready for the next rank.
No,
they're only ready when they've been in the heat of it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
so.
Until you put it on, it doesn't feel real.
Absolutely,
I've most definitely felt that through the ranks I've came through. But I'll tell you what, you are ready.
I hope
the
so.
Air Force.
Yes.
The Air Force knows you're ready.
I appreciate that.
Sometimes we're ready for stuff that we don't even realize you're ready for. Be it a new MDS, a new aircraft, right? To crew chief, or the various positions you get put into. Sometimes you're like, I don't know if I'm ready. Quite honestly, first time I had to do this
with General Higer, I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. And then you learn and you go through and you figure it out. You're like,
Absolutely.
yeah, I was ready. And somebody else saw it in me. And in this case, your leadership saw it in you, and the Air Force picked you.
Absolutely.
So wear it proudly. I challenge you to learn it every day, or earn it every day.
Of course.
And go out and just lead airmen, lead the future, because that's part of what you do now is build the airmen,
absolutely.
the young airmen that are out there to be the next you.
Yeah.
And do the awesome things that you do.
I appreciate that.
Any parting shots or anything you want to share with whoever's maybe watching?
Whoever's maybe watching.
Or watching later, remember?
Maybe. I just want to say shout out to Nap and Edge for helping me out here. But friends from my last base, so I appreciate it. Yeah, that's it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There's power in that. And I mentioned that out there at the release is we don't get there on our own.
Absolutely
right?
not. Absolutely
we really don't. There's, and the farther up the ranks you go, you start kind of really internalizing that and realizing that, wow, there's a lot of people that got me here. The person that might have, just said, hey, knock it off, or do it this way, right? To kind of bring us back to the straight and narrow, helps us get to where we are now.
My favorite is when they put you up for something you don't want to do.
Yes.
You do it, and then it just ends up being very beneficial to you.
Absolutely.
Which has happened a couple times, and you don't see it until everything's over.
That's right.
Until the
And
dust
you
settles.
grow from it, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
You're a better airman
Yes.
because of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Man, thanks so much for coming
Of course.
on. With me for a little bit. I know this is a little bit, intimidating.
Yeah,
One of these days I want to be able to turn the camera and show what it looks like. I don't know if we can make that happen someday. But it's pretty intimidating. So you handled it extremely well.
I appreciate
Congratulations on Tech Sergeant.
Thank you again,
I know you're
Chief.
going to do great things.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, as we move on to the next selectee coming on here, I don't know if I have any talking points per se, but it's Friday. It's going to be warm this weekend. Hydrate, take care of yourself, but more importantly, try to get out and soak up some of that sun for limited periods. It's good for you. It's good for your body. If you have this weekend off, go out and recharge your batteries a little bit. Do something fun. Hang out with family, friends. Something that will help you be ready for the week ahead. It's extremely important. I try to do it myself. I try to not just say it, but live it, and try to take advantage of the times where I don't have to be doing the work. So, all right. Next up, we have Tech Sergeant Select Mendoza from. What's going on? Hey, nice to meet you. Come on, have a seat. Where are you at? Logistics test. Awesome. Cool. Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So, how did you feel about the release party? Was it good?
It was.
Yeah.
I believe it was, and definitely a lot of energy, a lot more what I was expecting for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a big deal, and I'm glad we still do these things. There was a point in time where throughout COVID and all that, we kind of had to limit these, and it was really disappointing that we had to. I mean, we had to respond to something we didn't know, but it was just disappointing that we missed out on this celebrating folks that come through and they make that's a hard rank to make, right?
Right.
How many times have you tested?
So
if you're willing to let us know.
Yeah, I've tested about 8 times roughly.
Okay.
In order for me to make it.
It's hard. It took me 3, and I barely made it when I made it. Kind of like General Higer was telling us out in the hallway. It's nice that they don't do it, and it wouldn't make sense anyways. But your line number's not on there on your stripe.
Right.
Right. So nobody knows what your line number was or is. You put it on, and you're a tech sergeant. It's awesome. So what do you do out here?
So right now I'm just a evaluator for the bombers and everything. I just kind of see whatever they're actually testing and make sure everything is going well that it needs to go. Report any findings that I have, and then kind of go from there.
So what is your AFSC, or what's your job?
My job by trade is since it just recently combined, is avionics for the B-52.
Oh, cool.
So I'm going to be using a lot of that experience to give my advice.
So what is it like to work on an aircraft that's, I'm assuming, double, triple your age?
Twice my age.
Twice?
Roughly.
Okay, roughly. What's it like?
At first it was intimidating, and then it was awe-inspiring because it's still going, and then after all that experience of learning the job and realizing that I can actually help maintain this plane, it became even easier and more awe-inspiring because it's still is a big deal. It's still one of the big players in the grand scheme of things.
It is. It's a huge deterrent in the capabilities of the B-52. Even though it was built so many years ago, when it first flight, it's just amazing that our American society and all the pieces up to it were able to devise this strategic bomber that's still flying and it's supposed to be flying for many more years.
Right.
And it's still doing a lot of heavy lifting and important things here at the Center of the Aerospace Testing Universe. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah.
It is.
How cool is it to be a part of that?
It took a while to realize, but it is awe-inspiring. I really can't really put it into words eloquently, honestly.
No, that's okay. Yeah,
because the more you realize exactly what goes into it, the more people that rely on it, both in the military, outside the military, and our allies and everything else like that, how much of a precedent it is just to have this plane go over wherever the area is as a sense of security is just, it's something else.
A strategic deterrent, right?
Yes.
Kind of like I mentioned out there, is our adversaries know that if they try to go kinetic with us, that we respond in kind overwhelmingly, and that's why they don't, because they know we have capabilities and we have airmen, we have soon-to-be tech sergeants like you behind it making it happen.
Right.
It's so important. So what does the tech sergeant rank mean to you?
So for me, it's in the name, technical expert.
Yes.
And also being able to learn how to be a manager later on for the next rank, because you're always trying to improve. And also ensuring that you don't leave your subordinates behind when it comes to making sure that you're training them to replace you or anything like that, or just actually do the job and feel a part of the team, I guess you can say.
That's perfect. Yeah, it's important to get that team feel. Sometimes I think we lose it depending on what we do, and we feel detached from the overall importance of what the mission is. Sometimes that happens here too. I think we're getting better at letting people know and understand what we do here and why it's important. There's so many firsts here at Edwards Air Force Base, and there's firsts happening every day. Some of them we obviously can't discuss in open forums, but we're literally changing and keeping pace with what we need to do to project power across the globe. So it's awesome. Any parting shots or thoughts or anything you want to share with anybody who may be watching this in the future or now?
I would say that since I'm relatively new to the base, got here this year, anybody who's a part of maintenance who knows who I am or knows my name or face, thank you all. You were here before me, and just hoping I can actually carry on a torch that way. And as far as parting words, for all of our NCOs who may be watching, challenge yourself, I would say. Anything that says that, especially if you're in maintenance, if the Air Force says to do it this way, or you feel like you can't actually really apply it to the maintenance world, it's not true. I'd say you can. It's very possible, and we will get through all of the tough times in the future.
That's
and
right.
our airmen are very important.
Yes, they are. I had the opportunity today to sit down with FTAC airmen. So we're talking brand new airmen to the base, first base, and that's almost verbatim what I kind of imparted on them. You're important. You're not just A. You are A. You are a member of this great Air Force, right? You are a XYZ, whatever your job is. You are A. You're not just A.
Right.
And that's important. And then capitalizing on the fact that we all grew up differently. We all came from different backgrounds, different part of the U.S., in some cases different countries, right? Because we have a lot of people that come in and they naturalize as U.S. citizens after they enlist. And capitalizing on that seeing things differently and understanding a different way to do things, first learning your job really well, right? You should learn it well before you go and try to make changes, but then not being afraid to go, hey, I think we could do this a little bit better, or let's try this. And then more importantly, those people that supervise those folks going, you know what, that's not a bad idea, let's try it out. Or explaining why we can't, because in some cases we can't, but we have to capitalize on that diversity. It's what keeps us the strongest military in the world, in my opinion.
Of course, and
Absolutely.
I agree.
With a strong NCO Corps and enlisted Corps, nobody can stop us.
Exactly.
And it was so good talking with you. Congratulations again on the rank.
Thank you, sir.
Well earned, and I can't wait to see you sew it on. All right, have a good one.
You as well, Chief. Thank you.
1 minute. Oh, they're giving me the hook. It's 1 minute time. I'm not supposed to say that out loud, am I? I'm failing. We've got a former newscaster here who knows what I'm doing wrong right now. But I just want to tell everybody out there, thanks for watching if you watched. If your friends or family that are going to watch this later because your son, daughter, father, mother,